Hello, how are you? It's been a fair old time since I've uploaded a video, and I think it's probably about time I started to upload a few. So I'm going to make a couple of short videos and upload them over the next couple of weeks. I don't want to do a big long video as I've done in the past, because I think a lot of people sort of phase out after a couple of minutes. So I reckon if we make nice little short videos, people may stay tuned. These are very, what would the word be, non-professional videos. And there's not going to be a lot of editing, a lot of jump cuts, a lot of, jerky movements. It's just going to be camera focusing down here in this particular motherboard. And we're going to show you what's on the board. We're going to show you when it's been installed on it. We're going to go through a few different things and bits and bobs that are going on. Now, this particular board I hadn't turned on in, it has to be at least 5 years. And before that, it was another 5 or 10 years. The battery that's in it, I updated at that stage to a new system battery. That's this fella here. So it was about 5 years ago. So to my surprise, when I plugged in the RAM, which you can see over there to the right hand side, the board actually booted up. It was going extremely slow into Windows, and I was trying to figure out why. Then it turns out that the RAM over here you see is only 12 megabytes. So that's not good. The CPU is a SiS 200 chip, I think it was. But again, I'm going to go through all that and have a look anyway, so it makes no difference at this stage. This particular board is one of the boards that I always love for, the basic home user, and they were ideal and very, very populous back in the late 1990s and early 2000s. The reason why they were so popular in budget machines was they were extremely highly integrated. Now, one thing that we went from when we went into ATX originally was we started off with boards that purely would just have the likes of the parallel port. They might have a game port, so they might have a parallel port, they'd have maybe 2 serial ports. That's not just VGA now. They have 2 of these serial ports. May or may not have USB at the beginning of the ATX type style, and then the standard smaller PS2 type of keyboard. So as things progressed on with these highly integrated boards, we started seeing VGA built into the motherboard. So in the case here, there's VGA on chip here from the SiS company. Now SiS are a manufacturer of chips for a long, long time, and they've made some good chips along the way. One of the ones that sticks out to my mind would be the Xavier range of chips. I'm presuming I'm pronouncing that correctly. That's XABRE, I think it is. And they had a few integrated boards with those chipsets on them. What they did in the case of them was they actually, instead of this here, we'll be sharing RAM with the system RAM, hence the 12 megabytes would be even smaller. But with the Xavier type ones, what they did was they actually used an off-board set of chips which gave RAM to the actual VGA card, therefore improving system speed overall. Again, this board has no AGP, that board will have no AGP. The reason being is that they figure that the person who's going to use this board will be using it for browsing the internet back in the day, maybe doing Microsoft Word and that sort of stuff. There wouldn't be, videos weren't a thing. Watching video playback wasn't really a thing. DVD was starting to come in. The chips that were on a lot of these boards would play back the DVD, so it was no real issue. And again, playing games, that sort of stuff, they weren't really designed for playing games. They were designed to, function as a sort of a low-end home user to a business type of user. Gaming on these boards is quite possible, and again, we're going to try that over the coming weeks. We're going to see if we can install a couple of games on the machine and see how we get on. Now, one of the things I am going to try at the first instance is actually attempt to install a larger hard drive, like the Maxer hard drive I have here in front of me. This Maxer hard drive is 80 gigabytes. Now, you can get them to read them in the lower end Windows, like Windows 98, by using the software that came with the MaxBlast. If you're trying to get an older hard drive, which is, I've done it in some of my previous videos, if you're trying to get an older machine to use one of these bigger hard drives, it is possible to do. The only limitation will be the actual operating system. An operating system such as DOS will not allow partitions above the 2 GB limit. So a hard drive like this one will be partitioned into many parts. So it's not really ideal. So you're better off to get a smaller hard drive, or buy, you know, some people out there, you see them on here on YouTube. What they do is they use compact flash hard drives. It's not something I've ever used. I kind of like to use the genuine hardware. I like the idea of using CF cards to, you know, have a machine running faster than it should, type of thing. But I kind of, you know, I have so many small hard drives not knocking about from doing it for so long back in the day that by the time I exhaust my supply of them, I'll go to CF cards eventually, maybe. But like, I'm probably not going to be interested in them at that stage. These old retro PCs, like the old Laserdiscs, are fascinating. You know what I mean? It's amazing to see how far we've come. You've got the likes of Windows 10 nowadays, where things are so smooth and run so well that you don't even realise that this is the same company that came across with Windows 95 first edition, which would, you know, plug and pray and all that, you know. So it's amazing to see how far they've come, and it gives you a better appreciation if you use old boards like this and use old technology and get used to this sort of stuff and how this works and how to install stuff on this. You can appreciate it more on the newer machines and how easy it has become on the new machines, but still nonetheless great fun. Now, of course, this is all my personal opinion and my personal experience. You know, your experiences and opinions are going to differ from mine, I hope, as an individual. So this particular board here has built-in VGA, which we'll check out later on the next video. We've got the sound here built in as well. So here's your sound here built in. That's an ESS audio drive. I probably mentioned in a previous video, the ESS audio drive for me is notorious. Insofar as when we had our, which is also on here on the YouTube channel if you check it out, as an AST386 premium machine. Now the machine I had originally was an AST386 16 megahertz premium machine. That was my original machine. And that particular machine, we wanted to put sound onto it and a CD-ROM drive. Now to do that was quite difficult because the BIOS, the basic input output system, or the CMOS chip, wouldn't allow us to actually do that. So an optical drive would be detected by this motherboard. Some older motherboards will also detect the CD-ROM drive. It won't come up in the BIOS, it won't be listed as a device, but the machine will still actually physically see it on the bus. It'll see it's there and be able to actually read it, providing you install the MSCDEX driver in DOS. However, on the AST premium machine, as videoed before, it won't let you do that. It'll absolutely 110% refuse to let you do it. So what I had to do in the situation with that one was, we ended up buying an ESS audio drive sound card with a 40-pin ATA header on it. And what that did was, you stuck in your sound card into the machine, which was ISA at the time. You stuck in your sound card into it, you put your ribbon cable, which would be this ribbon cable, that's the floppy. You put your ribbon cable into the sound card, boot up the machine, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, and Dick's your brother. But unfortunately, that didn't work. And we tried absolutely everything. There was conflicts with the IRQs, there was conflicts with the DMA. It was just an absolute pain in the boop. But I always remember the sound card going, beep, ESS audio drive. And I always remember that. And that's my memories of ESS audio drive. I think they're actually a very good chip as I use them later on after that. But my first experience was, oh my god, these things are a pain in the... And I only ever bought Creative. It was only a little bit later on where I'd use the ESS audio drive chips in the likes of this board and that, because they were far cheaper, let's be honest. And you know, the problems and tribulations with DOS were no longer relevant because people had upgraded and were now using the glorious and wonderful Windows 95 and Windows 98, so it didn't matter anymore. But at the time with DOS, watch out for it, because those boards do work in most machines, but as I have stated in a previous video, for 100% compatibility, stick with the Creative stuff or the eSonic brand of stuff, because the eSonic is practically 100% compatible with Creative Labs. And of course, eventually Creative Labs went and bought the company out because it was so good. Anyway, that's 10 minutes on this video, so please do come back and join me on the next video, and we will go again, and we will go ahead and start putting this board together. Put some RAM into it, etc, etc. I'm going to see if I have some other RAM other than this 12 megs that's over here, so I'll check out for that first, and I'll see you in the next video. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that lovely stuff. And if you don't like the video, give me a thumbs down. If you do like the video, give me a thumbs up. But better still, if you don't like it or do like it, leave a comment and tell me why you like it, tell me why you don't like it, because that's how we get these things made better, and improve our standards. So thanks for watching, and Happy New Year, and good luck to you.